Stop everything. Drake's career may have just crossed the line of no return, and this time, even his biggest defenders are silent. Late last night, a shocking audio leak surfaced online, allegedly recorded inside a private studio session, where Drake can be heard panicking, saying, "If this gets out, I'm finished." Within minutes, the clip spread like wildfire across Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok. Fans are calling it the biggest self-destruct moment in hip-hop history. But that's not all. Screenshots are circulating messages supposedly between an OVO insider and a top journalist claiming that the story Kendrick hinted at months ago wasn't just lyrical shade. It was the truth. And now, the evidence is stacking up. Social media has gone into meltdown. One fan tweeted, "This isn't rap beef anymore. This is career suicide." Another posted, "Kendrick warned us." Nobody listened, even industry voices are chiming in. A veteran producer allegedly told Complex, "This is the type of scandal you can't come back from. This could bury Drake." And the scariest part, insiders are whispering that what we've seen so far is only the tip of the iceberg. So what exactly was in that leak? And why is everyone saying Kendrick was right all along? Stay tuned, because the bombshells are only just beginning. To understand why this moment feels like the endgame for Drake, we need to rewind. Because this wasn't some random scandal, it was years in the making. Drake, the global superstar with more one hits than anyone in rap history, built his brand on being untouchable. Smooth, calculated, always one step ahead. But behind the sold-out arenas and diamond plaques, whispers of doubt have always followed him. Questions about ghostwriters, authenticity, and a reputation for avoiding direct confrontation. Enter Kendrick. Lamar. From the very beginning, Kendrick positioned himself as Drake's polar opposite. Where Drake was polished, Kendrick was raw. Where Drake was mainstream, Kendrick was underground royalty turned Pulitzer winner. And when Kendrick rapped lines like "they not your savior" or shaded unnamed rappers chasing clout over artistry, everyone in the culture knew exactly who the target was. The tension reached boiling point years ago during the infamous Control verse, when Kendrick called out Drake by name. Since then, the two icons have traded subliminals, live performance jabs, and strategic silences. Fans called it the Cold War of hip-hop till now, because this new leak, it doesn't just put Drake's credibility on trial, it threatens to unravel his entire legacy. And the irony? Every sign points back to Kendrick having warned us long ago. Fans are resurfacing old interviews, splicing together Drake's evasive answers with Kendrick's prophetic bars. One viral TikTok claims, "Kendrick tried to tell us in 2017, but nobody wanted to hear it." Even industry journalists are admitting that Kendrick's criticisms, once dismissed as petty competition, suddenly looked like chilling foresight. And that's what makes this scandal so dangerous. It's not just about one leaked recording or a shady text thread. It's about the idea that Kendrick was always right, that Drake's empire was built on fragile foundations, just waiting to collapse. As one hip-hop blogger put it last night, "This isn't beef anymore, it's prophecy." Cliffhanger. But the real chaos began when the first major twist dropped, because the leak didn't just expose Drake's words. It dragged in names nobody expected. The first leak alone was enough to send shockwaves across the internet. But then came the real bombshell, a second wave of evidence that turned whispers into full-blown chaos. Just 48 hours after the initial audio surfaced, a mysterious Google Drive link began circulating on Reddit and Discord servers. Inside were screenshots of alleged emails between Drake's camp and a high-level executive at a major streaming platform. The emails appeared to show panicked discussions about damage control, buying silence, and even the possibility of delaying Drake's next album indefinitely. Fans tore into the files like vultures, dissecting every line. Some argued they were fake, but others noticed details only an insider could note: timestamps that matched real events, internal codes unique to streaming companies, and even blurred out names that eagle-eyed fans quickly connected to known industry execs. Whether 100% real or not, the perception was set. Drake wasn't just in trouble, he was scrambling to survive. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. Buried in the leaked folder was a reference to K.Dot's team already warned us. Those 7 words lit the culture on fire. If true, it meant Kendrick's camp not only knew about the scandal brewing behind the scenes, but had already confronted people about it. In other words, Kendrick wasn't just right, he was ahead of the curve the entire time. Social media exploded. One viral tweet said, "So Kendrick been sitting on this? Man was 5 steps ahead." Another fan joked, "Drake playing checkers." While Kendrick out here playing 5D chess, even media outlets picked up the story. Rolling Stone ran the headline, "Leaked emails suggest Kendrick had early knowledge of Drake's scandal." The narrative flipped instantly from Drake caught slipping to Kendrick called it, and nobody listened. For Drake, the damage was immediate. Industry insiders claim sponsors began freezing contracts, terrified of being linked to the fallout. Spotify allegedly pulled his latest track from one of their biggest curated playlists. The Empire, once bulletproof, was showing cracks everywhere. But the worst part wasn't the financial fallout, was the cultural betrayal. Drake's image was always about control, about being one step ahead of his rivals. Yet here he was, looking like a man who'd lost the playbook, while Kendrick's legacy grew stronger without him even saying a word. The first twist was brutal. It wasn't just a scandal, it was a revelation that Kendrick Lamar had always been. Right-hand that Drake's empire was built on shaky ground from the very beginning. And the internet. It was already asking, if this is just the first leak, what's next? Just when people thought the chaos couldn't get any worse, the internet was hit with something far darker. The leaks escalated from emails and whispers to full-on video. Evidence the kind of footage you can't unsee once it's out there. Late at night, an anonymous Twitter account dropped a 90-second clip titled, "The video Drake doesn't want you to see." Within minutes, it racked up over 2 million views. The grainy recording appeared to show Drake in a closed-door studio meeting, pacing back and forth, his voice trembling. At one point, he muttered, "If they drop that file, I'm done." Kendrick's people already know. It's over. The internet lost its mind. Fans clipped the video into TikToks, slowed it down, and synced the audio with Kendrick's past lyrics. One edit paired Drake's line, "I'm done," with Kendrick's infamous bar, "The world gone, see you for who you really are." The effect was chilling. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from, "Is Drake in trouble?" to "How much did Kendrick know, and for how long?" But here's the shocking part. The account that posted the video claimed it wasn't the full clip. In a now-deleted tweet, they teased, "This is just part 1. The real bombshell drops soon." Screenshots of that tweet went viral instantly, sending fans into frenzy. If part 1 looked this bad, what could possibly be in part 2? Industry insiders began weighing in. One anonymous A&R told XXL, "This isn't just a beef. This feels like a takedown. Someone is systematically dismantling Drake's brand." Another executive whispered to a blogger, "The silence from Kendrick's camp is the loudest move I've ever seen." The escalation was undeniable. Drake, once in complete control of his narrative, now looked like a man trapped in a storm. He couldn't escape. Every leak added fuel to the fire. Every silence from Kendrick made the prophecy feel more real. And then came the most chilling twist. Yet, a heavily circulated rumor that the next leak doesn't come from outsiders. It comes from inside OVO itself, if true. That would mean Drake isn't just battling. Kendrick, he's battling betrayal from his own camp. The shocking reveal was clear. This wasn't just a rivalry anymore. It was a collapse unfolding in real time, with Kendrick Lamar painted not just as a rival, but as the truth-teller who saw it all coming. The fallout from the leaks was nothing short of catastrophic. For the first time in over a decade, Drake didn't feel like the invincible global superstar. He looked like a king surrounded by vultures, each circling closer with every passing hour. On social media, chaos erupted. Twitter hashtags like #DrakeLeak and #Kendrick was right trended worldwide. TikTok creators pumped out thousands of reaction videos, dissecting every second of the leaked footage. Some clips showed fans crying, saying they could never look at Drake the same way again. Others mocked him brutally, remixing his own lyrics into memes. One viral post with over 1 million likes read, "Started from the bottom, and now we here." Watching the fall in real time. But it wasn't just fans. Fellow artists and industry veterans began chiming in, many of them suspiciously quiet until now. Pusha T liked a tweet about the scandal. J. Cole unfollowed Drake on Instagram, sparking wild conspiracy theories. Even DJ Akanix, once one of Drake's loudest defenders, went live and admitted, this might actually be the beginning of the end. Mainstream media seized the story like blood in the water. Rolling Stone, Billboard, and the New York Times each ran headlines framing the leaks as a career-defining crisis. A CNN pop culture segment even asked, "Is hip-hop's golden boy finished?" The tone shifted from gossip to history in the making. Meanwhile, Kendrick's silence was deafening. No tweets, no statements, no features, just absolute silence. And somehow, that made the narrative even more powerful. Fans began circulating old Kendrick bars as if they were prophetic scripture. "The game is all mine. I'm stronger than I was before. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan?" These lines were suddenly seen as predictions, not just lyrics. The rivalry had transformed into myth. Behind the scenes, the business world reacted even harsher. Rumors spread that a major brand deal Drake was set to announce had been quietly pulled. Streaming numbers on his latest single reportedly dipped as playlists removed him from rotation. For an artist who thrived on numbers and charts, the cracks were no longer invisible. They were headlines. The public verdict was split in two camps: the loyalists, fans, defending Drake, insisting the leaks were fake or manipulated; the truth seekers, fans convinced Kendrick's long-standing criticisms had finally been proven true. But even Drake's loyalists admitted one thing: the silence from Drake himself was making it worse. Every day he stayed quiet, the perception of guilt grew louder. By now, the narrative wasn't just about a scandal. It was about a cultural shifting. Empire crumbling, while another artist's legacy soared without lifting a finger. And just when it seemed the world had seen enough, whispers of a final twist began to surface, something so explosive it threatened to erase whatever was left of Drake's legacy forever. Just when fans thought they had seen the full collapse, unfold, the final twist hit, and it was worse than anyone could have imagined. A new leak dropped, not from a random account this time, but from an anonymous insider claiming to be part of OVO itself. In a chilling Reddit post, the user wrote, "We kept quiet for years, but enough is enough. Drake betrayed his own people. It's time the truth comes out." Attached was a folder labeled "The OVO Files Final Cut." Inside were alleged voice notes, private group chats, and financial spreadsheets suggesting internal chaos. But the detail that broke the internet: a message thread where Drake himself reportedly admitted, "Kendrick's been right about me the whole time." Whether real or not, the screenshots spread like wildfire. Blogs reposted them, fans debated endlessly, and hip-hop Twitter practically melted down. The idea that Drake himself might have confessed even in private was unthinkable. The cliffhanger came when the insider teased one last, unreleased file, a full-length video said to reveal the truth behind everything. The post ended with the cryptic line, "If this drops, Drake's career isn't just over, it's erased." That was enough to send the culture into frenzy. Fans begged for the file. Industry insiders whispered about NDAs and lawsuits, and Kendrick still silent, letting the storm write the narrative for him. For the first time in his career, Drake wasn't writing the story, he was trapped inside it. And the world was left with one burning question. Will the final file ever be released? And if it is, will there be anything left of Drake's empire to save? So now we're here. Drake, the artist who once looked untouchably standing at the edge of a cliff. Kendrick warned us. The leaks confirmed it. And the industry is watching history unfold in real time. But the question isn't just about Drake anymore, it's about us. The fans, the culture, because hip-hop has always been bigger than one artist. It's about authenticity, truth, and the legacies we choose to protect. And right now, we're living through a cultural shift that will be studied for decades. But here's where you come in. Do you think this is truly the end of Drake's career? Or is this just another storm he'll somehow survive? Is Kendrick Lamar officially crowned the prophet of hip-hop? Or is this beef still far from over? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I'm reading every single one. Tell me, are you Team Drake loyal no matter what? Or are you Team Kendrick, believing the truth was always on his side? Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle, just watching history unfold. And trust me, this story is far from over. More leaks are rumored to drop any day now, and when they do, you know we'll be here breaking it all down piece by piece. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and buckle up, because the next chapter of this saga might just change hip-hop forever.